All right, we're in game number 5. It's the final match. Tied up 2-2, ace match time. In the top right, he's the Blue Zerg player for Root Gaming. He's on the side of a building in Poland, for goodness sake. It's Hydra.
The top left as the Red Terran. He's happy. He's happy. Oh, we got 1 game bets. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so the bot died. Like I mentioned earlier, when the bot died, it unfortunately was a restart on the computer, not on the bot, so I couldn't just turn it back on and have the bets resume. So if we do 1 game bets, that's fine, because it's like a best of 1. And also, this does determine the entire series. Again, this 1 game in this final match of the best of 5, this is worth $6,000. This is worth 300 WCS points. This is the difference of going home with nothing, and frankly, more money than our entire prize pool for the Ting Open.
Yeah, oh my goodness, that's a lot of money. Well, okay. You have a way of putting things in perspective. This cast, man.
It's scary. I mean, this is.
It's a good thing you're not like at the tournament, just like commentating on this, right?
I'm just like watching over the players
wildly
between games. I'm like, how does it feel to know that there's nothing for you if you lose this game? Absolutely nothing.
You just walk out like you did nothing wrong. That'd be so cool. That'd be so funny. So, I think by now we Hydra and all of us has recognized that Happy is really playing a style that's like, you come here to me. No, you come here to me. Yeah. And it's just waiting for Hydra to attack into him, which is not a bad style. And it's not, I said he's scared of Hydra's power. I guess scared isn't quite the right word. It's like you gotta respect Hydra as a player, and you also gotta respect Zerg All-Wins as a Terran player. So scared, maybe. I don't know Happy's actual opinions on the matchup, but certainly he's trying to respect him to the utmost degree here. Yeah, and Hydra could try and take advantage of that in this ace match if but goes really greedy with it. But go on.
Who was it that was doing that stupid respect the void ray thing? Was it Wolf?
I don't remember.
I don't know. Well, whoever it was, you make a good partner for them right now. You guys are all about mutual respect.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
But as much as I do want to tease, it's actually a good point, because if you are like a noob going Nidus where I'm like, again, not this time, then you die to it. Like, that's the worst feeling in the world, because not only did you not, like, you underestimated the strength of your opponent, you also could have won a game if you weren't so, I guess, egotistical. It does happen from time to time. Like, it sounds like we're just talking out of our ass, but that happens, I'd say, about 40% of the time when we see really dumb losses. And we'll talk to players afterwards, and they'll say something like, I did not give that proper, like, credit to what was coming.
Yeah. So we have Happy once again going for a Hellbat attack now. He did this on Dusk Towers, and then played a very defensive setup. Like, his stim timing, seeing that he just forgot about it for a while, but we'll get a confirmation here if he just simply won those upgrades faster, because what he ended up doing was going into a very defensive game, which happens all the time on Dusk Towers, and just basically saying like, oh, it's going to go to 4 bases anyways, who needs stim timing, could be Happy's practice. I'm not sure. I don't think it's like the greatest, because I still think it is pretty important to have those 1 or 2 pushes as Terran, but we'll see.
So one of the things with this is this has not been scouted, which really sucks. However, Hydra, having fought this once already, like, he probably knows he'll see this and have to he might actually leave it up for bait, but he'll probably have to cancel this.
Yeah, I'm not. He was already making units, which is a pretty big deal, even though he wasn't quite sure what was happening. I think seeing Hellions in general, you always got to be wary, but if he saves it, it's going to be pretty low health. But you also don't want to cancel it when it's so far gone. I don't know. Does he have transfuses? No.
So
trying to focus it, but it's Hellbats. They do the most damage to the building. So
right, but I'm just thinking on this, like, compared to last. Okay, so that's 300 minerals, and that sucks because the base goes down especially.
Yeah.
But it's 300 minerals for a respectable cost. I mean, it sucks losing Lings, but I mean, it kills the Hellbats. It stops the attack. He almost got the medevac. Could have got the medevac. I mean, I can understand wanting to try and keep that base up. I don't know. Yeah. I don't think it worked out too well for him, obviously, cause and effect, but he's got a decent drone count coming off the back end of it. Once that's back up, he'll be able to transfer those over. Now, there's a Liberator trying to siege up in the main. There's no Spore Crawlers down, so this makes it a little bit weird. The Queen being slightly out of position. Run, lady, run!
Quick response. Got some Ravagers that have already morphed in here. Gonna not quite be able. Not even gonna hit it once. And thanks to Ericon UA for the sub.
New sub hype here in the final game. Thank you, Ericon UA or Ericon UA.
Something like that.
Yeah, I feel like as long as we try 3 or 4 different ones, it's kind of like, okay, well, at least you got close on one, so maybe they'll forgive you. It's like the people who do fortune telling or whatnot, they'll like pick something vague and you'll fill the dots in for them. So if I pronounce your name like barely right, you're like, oh yeah, you almost got it. That's what they'll remember, not the 4 times I got it wrong. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm talking about here, guys. Medevac comes back for round 2, and it is going to be that tank and marine drop that we saw earlier that was kind of cute and did knock down a Spire, but that's not going to be this time. There's only a queen here to defend, however. The roaches coming back are going to be coming one at a time, and that's not how you want to deal with this. Spore Crawler is going to take out this Liberator, so it won't be too much of a problem. Ravagers did leave the main, so a bit of an opening up here, and so more drones are certain to die, but this is a problem for Happy where you just keep sending units in 1 or 2 at a time. Like, you'll never clean up an attack like this. It's such a silly small thing to do.
It's such a surprising amount of damage for such few units, and that Liberator in the main really should have gone down earlier, but some nice sniper from Happy, so this is nice damage. Hellbat's got a hatchery, like a full hatchery. The other units gets 14 workers and a lot of denied mining, and I think Happy has definitely gotten a lead in this early game. His stim does look better than it was on Dusk Tower, so I think it was a little bit of a mistake, but even then, like, just the opener in general is going to give you those later upgrades, and you're not going to have like this immediate follow-up, which usually I think Zergs bank on, right? Like, they're like, okay, the Hellbat attack's over and done with, let me go ahead and drone, and then you send a tank and 4 Marines at them? Like, what?
So up until just that moment, I've never actually seen or looked closely at a queen injecting. You know, you just think about it, you hear the sound, you look at her kind of lean in towards the hatchery, and that's it. She spews so much shit all over the hatchery to do this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, that's so gross.
She's like you know, the Slurm Queen.
Yeah, watch, I'm zoomed in. This is gonna be disgusting. Don't miss.
Also highlighting Hydra's miss macro.
Yeah, by accident, not on purpose. Hydra, please, you Korean. I'm gonna look away and she'll do it. Watch. Middle of the map. Nope. Okay. Well, this isn't worth it at this point. Okay, what? Fuck it. That wasn't worth it. God damn it. So dumb. Okay, double drops, but it's only 1 drop. Haha, psych, it's a prank. 9 Marines make it to the main. They do have, they don't have stim. It's about to be finished here in just about 1 second, 2 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds.
With double upgrades is pretty nice here. Again, it's like a very odd amount of units that, you know, if Happy had just waited for 6 more units, maybe Hydra would have been prepared for it, but does still push it away really easily. Hydra going for Tunneling Claws just right off the bat, by the way. There's no, like, you know, 1-1 push that he tried to do, because honestly, he took too much damage, I think, to really have a powerful one anyways. He's waiting until 2-2. He's going to go for Tunneling Claws first. Happy, again, being his defensive self, gets a bunker at the front, which I think is actually really good. Skipped the, of course, the bunker in the main base this game, though.
These aren't gonna get the job done. First one's gonna get shot and she back away before he throws the rest of them into oblivion. Oh dear. So this is Hydra in several different instances going for these tunneling claws, and I am a big fan of tunneling claws. When Bly was doing this back before it got nerfed, cool, but then it did get nerfed, and that's the point. They're not as fast as they used to be, and they're not as good as you would hope. So the fact that Hydra keeps investing in this situation, in this game, in this series, I don't think at any point it's worked for him. Strikes me as very strange.
Yeah. I'm also like, with how defensive Happy has been for this best of 5. You know, I do wonder about, I don't know, like, this game he didn't actually push in. It was more just him taking damage that really led to this point where he's, you know, Happy's happily on a 3rd base. Finally, gotta use a pun.
Mr. Morris Makarov would be proud of you.
I know, right? But I was just thinking, like, maybe if Hydra was on Ruins, for instance, maybe going for a Mutilating Bling against Happy style would have been better. But that's just, you know, ponderous thoughts, not even really of consequence here. He's got to defend against a very real push, though. This is more than just a thought. This is a pretty hefty push.
I think it was, what was it, Dust Towers inside the Ultras? Like, the thing that went really well there was he did defend this attack, and he didn't get caught off guard going for Hive Tech and going for Ultras Cavern. These timings turn hit are usually pretty sick, and you just take too much damage trying to get to Hive. Right now, Hydra has the army supply to deal with this. The question is, can you take the engagement to deal with this? Because Happy does have a significant amount of tanks. This is going to be really hard to actually take this fight, but he pushes in quick. Corsair piles on top of the tanks, picks him up. Medevac goes down. Good start to this fight for Hydra as he does deflect Happy's attack. Tanks also go down first this time, not last, which is very important because the last couple of games, he's just been kind of ignoring the tanks, hoping Corsair would do the job, but they never have.
That went really poorly for Happy, actually. down by 40 armor spike, excuse me, is not actually a devastating position. He's not going to lose the game right now, but I think he definitely wanted to take a better trade than that.
Yeah,
and of course he sees the hive and knows that he's on a timer now.
Right, that's the thing. Hive Tech. David Kim said that he really wanted Ultras to be the way that they are because they forced Terran into a certain situation, and that is the thing. Like, the timer has begun. Happy he knows the clock's ticking, and this now really just forces you again. Ghosts, Liberators, Tanks. One of the three options. Technically Thors, but let's be honest, everyone hates Thors. They're garbage. So the question really is, does he have what it's going to take to deal with it? Because another attack hitting before the Ultra Cavern's done is not going to cut it. It would if he had traded better with the army, but he didn't.
Hydra is this. He's also going to have Infestors this time, by the way. The Infestors that came out for that first attack didn't have enough energy because no pathing plans were researched. So now he's going to have a couple of fungals. So Happy's going to be really careful with this attack because this is also like most of his army. It's going to be the one that's covering him as he gets to a 4th base and a high Liberator count. He is on 2 starports right now. It just doesn't have the. I don't know if he has the money for it. It's just not. There we go. 3 Liberators at a time.
So the attack in the south gets cleaned up, and he puts on a 5th base in clear view of Happy. Now this, funny, like this would be a good base to mine from, but this actually almost works out like a bit of bait. If Happy ends up dedicating drops down here, again, this just takes away from anything that would really be damaging Hydra, say to the north, say where the Ultras Cavern is, say the drop in the main. Because we've talked about this on Central Protocol, you expand so far vertically, it's actually really hard to get from one side of the map to the other to defend if there is that big attack. So again, maybe it was intended, maybe it wasn't. Either way, it does draw the army down here instead of across the map.
Yeah, I mean, Hydra's still on 4 bases. That was his 5th, so and that's too upset about losing that, having to cancel it. But I think this is a good. It's a good position. Control of the game that Happy has with these drops going, threatening Hydra, making him realize that expanding vertically is going to pull him left and right. Now, that also is going to happen to Happy at some point. We're going to have Ling Floods go into a planetary and actually be able to kill it because you're too far away from your army. We're going to have maybe Ling drops or Nidus Worms, which you did see from Hydra early on, pulling him all the way back to his main from his 4th and stuff like that. But right now, it's Happy who is on the offense, trying to do as much damage as possible for those Ultras are out, and, well, a couple of them already are.
Hey, Zombie, why Infestor's never alone?
Because I got a couple of fungals! Oh, I remember that one. It's an oldie but a goodie.
It is. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough to really stop this, and those Ultras fell a little bit flat because the Liberators just got to shell away at them. And this was a problem with Hydra before. We talked about it being complacency. Maybe it was just error. But every time he was using Ultras before, he would send them in without proper support. They just died or whatever was available. Ling attack here on the bottom left will pay him back for the damage here in the bottom right. But again, without proper Ling support, fungal growth, you name it, like the Ultras are actually not the god tier units that they look to be. Again, you stand under a Liberator for 5 shots, you're dead. You stand under, I don't know, you get kited by the Marauders en masse, take a while, but you'll still die. I mean, the Marauders, not as good as they used to be, obviously, but the Ultras still need that second element of something.
Yeah, Infestors, Lings, Queens, something like that. Hydra did get a Spire, so he should be getting Corruptors to deal with the drops, and just in general Medivacs and Liberators as he goes for main pushes. Maybe even a Greater Spire if this game continues. This might go to be the longest game we've seen on Central Protocol.
Well, I mean, in fairness, Central Protocol wasn't even used until like 2 weeks ago by anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Ever since it has been used, however, it stopped being veto. It actually does provide later games than I expected anyways for having such a far away third.
Absolutely. Now Ghosts are on the way, but
that's a lot of Ravagers.
These Ravagers can take care of the Liberators, no problemo. Almost hit some of his own Ultras, a little bit awkward, but he's getting in here. The Liberators are taking their shots. They are finally going to go down. The Ultras aren't going to have much to oppose them. Again, the Marauder count getting a little bit low. Meanwhile, these 2 Ultras go into the Mineral Line, and Ravagers just looking to do what they can. They can't sit under the Liberators, that much is for certain.
Yeah. Well, I thought that Happy might have been a better setup with the Liberators, but, another thing about Central Protocol is not a lot of chokes that you can abuse. Dusk Towers even has that one little, tower that kind of makes one choke or another, but that was just carnage, and Happy's now down 100 supply.
Yeah, we already have round 2 coming up. Oh my god, the Corrosive Biles land on most of the SCVs, so no repairing for this planetary. It's going to go down. Happy has had all of his mining denied now. He actually has 0 income right now.
Yeah.
And you know what? Being on a building in Poland, it does something for you.
GG!
Hydra will take this series 3-2. And again, $6,000 guaranteed at least at this point. Of course, he can earn more if he gets further in the tournament, and at least 300 WCS points. That's a pretty big